Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Daily English Talks. I'm Mia, and I'm so excited to have you here today. In this lesson, we're going to dive into a super important topic in English conversations: how to introduce yourself. Whether you're meeting someone for the first time, starting a new job, joining a class, or just making new friends, knowing how to introduce yourself confidently and clearly can really make a difference. Today, we're not only going to cover the basic ways to introduce yourself, but we'll also practice how to do it smoothly in different situations you might face in daily life. We'll discuss different types of introductions, polite phrases, cultural differences, and how to make a great first impression when meeting someone new. This lesson will be detailed, giving you enough time to understand everything. Repeat after me and give it a try. I'll share useful phrases and practice examples so you can feel comfortable using them in real life. If you've ever felt nervous or unsure about what to say when meeting someone, don't worry. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel much more confident and ready to introduce yourself in English anywhere, anytime. When you introduce yourself in English, the first thing people usually ask is your name. This is the most basic and common part of any introduction. You can start by saying "my name is" followed by your name. For example, you can say, "My name is Sarah," or "My name is John." If you want to sound more casual or relaxed, you can say, "I'm Sarah," or "I'm John." Both of these are perfectly fine in most casual and even professional situations. When someone tells you their name, it's polite to respond with "nice to meet you," or "it's nice to meet you." You could also say, "pleased to meet you." These are friendly responses when someone introduces themselves. Let's practice a simple exchange. Imagine you're meeting someone for the first time. You say, "Hi, I'm Alex." The other person replies, "Hi, Alex, I'm Mia. Nice to meet you." And you say, "Nice to meet you too." This short, friendly exchange is the foundation of many conversations in English. Next, let's add some more information to our introduction. After saying your name, people usually want to know where you're from. This gives them a better idea of who you are. You can say, "I'm from Brazil," or "I'm from Japan," or "I'm from a small town in Italy." If you're living in a country different from where you were born, you could say, "I'm originally from India, but now I live in Canada." This explains your background and current situation. You can also ask the other person, "Where are you from?" to keep the conversation going. It's a simple question that shows interest and gives the other person a chance to share about themselves too. For example, you might say, "Hi, I'm Mia. I'm from the United States. Where are you from?" Let's practice again. Imagine you meet someone at a language class. You could say, "Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Germany. What about you?" The other person replies, "Nice to meet you, Daniel." Practicing this will help you feel more confident speaking to new people in real life. Another important part of introducing yourself is talking about what you do. This refers to your job, studies, or daily activities. You can say, "I'm a student," or "I'm a teacher," or "I work as a nurse." If you don't have a job right now, you can say, "I'm looking for work," or "I'm currently unemployed." If you're a student, you can mention what you study. For example, "I'm a student. I study computer science." If you work, you can mention your company or the industry. For example, "I work in marketing," or "I work at a tech company." Let's try an example. Imagine you meet someone at a community center. You say, "Hi, I'm Emma. I'm from Canada. I work as a graphic designer." The other person replies, "Hi, Emma. I'm James. I'm a student. I study business." You reply, "That's great. Nice to meet you." These simple lines help create a smooth introduction and open the door to more conversation. Now let's talk about hobbies and interests. When introducing yourself, especially in casual or friendly situations, people often want to know what you like to do in your free time. You could say, "I enjoy reading," or "I like playing soccer," or "I love cooking." This helps the other person get to know your personality and can help find common interests. You might also say, "In my free time, I like to watch movies," or "I spend my weekends hiking in the mountains." These details make your introduction more interesting and personal. Here's a practice scenario. You say, "Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm from Australia. I'm a teacher. In my free time, I like to paint and go for long walks." The other person says, "Nice to meet you, Rachel. I'm Mike. I'm from the UK. I'm a web developer. I enjoy traveling and trying new food." You reply, "That's cool. I love trying new food too." This simple exchange helps build a friendly connection and keeps the conversation flowing. Sometimes, introductions might also include your age. especially in informal settings or when talking to people your own age. You could say, I'm 25 years old, or simply, I'm 25. However, in many English-speaking cultures, age isn't always mentioned unless it's relevant. In school or university, you might share your age, but in most adult conversations, it's okay to leave it out unless someone asks. Let's do another practice. You're at a language meetup, and you say, Hi, I'm Leo. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Argentina. I work in finance. I love playing guitar and traveling. Someone replies, Hi Leo, I'm Mia. I'm from South Korea. I'm a student, and I also love music. Then you say, Nice to meet you, Mia. What kind of music do you like? See how the conversation naturally grows from just a few introduction sentences. It's also nice to add a short comment or question to show interest and friendliness. For example, after introducing yourself, you might say, It's my first time here, or I'm excited to meet new people. These small comments show your emotions and make you seem more open. You can also follow your introduction with a simple question like, What do you do? Or how long have you been learning English? Asking questions keeps the conversation balanced and shows interest in the other person. Let's try another role play for practice. You say, Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Poland. I work as an accountant. I love cooking and watching movies. It's my first time at this meetup. The other person replies, Nice to meet you, Anna. I'm Mark. I'm from the US. I'm a software developer. I've been coming here for a few months. Then you say, That's great. Do you enjoy it? This shows how a simple introduction can lead to a longer, more friendly conversation. Another thing that can make your introduction stronger is mentioning why you're learning English. When you tell people your reason, it gives them a better understanding of your goals and helps start more conversations. You can say, I'm learning English because I want to travel, or I need English for my job, or I want to study abroad. These are very common and natural reasons. You can also say things like, I enjoy learning languages, or English is important for my future plans. By sharing your motivation, you help others relate to you, and they might even share their reasons as well. For example, Hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Spain. I'm learning English because I want to move to Canada for work. The other person may reply, That's interesting. I'm also planning to work abroad. These conversations begin with an introduction and naturally lead to deeper discussions. Let's do another practice example. Imagine you're at an online English class. You say, Hello, I'm Carlos. I'm from Mexico. I'm a university student. I enjoy listening to music and playing video games. I'm learning English because I want to study in the United States. Another student says, Nice to meet you, Carlos. I'm Priya from India. I'm learning English for my job. You say, That's great. What kind of work do you do? These simple lines help you go beyond the introduction and begin real communication. Sometimes you may be in a formal or professional situation, like a job interview, a networking event, or a business meeting. In these situations, your introduction should be a little more structured and polished. You might start by saying, Good morning, my name is John Smith. I'm a software engineer with 5 years of experience in mobile development. I currently work at a startup company in San Francisco. This kind of introduction sounds more professional and is useful when you want to create a good impression. You can also include your qualifications, skills, or achievements if it fits the context. For example, I specialize in user experience design and recently led a project that improved customer engagement by 30%. Let's practice a professional style introduction. You say, Hello, my name is Reena Patel. I'm from India. I have a degree in marketing and currently work as a digital marketing analyst. I've been working in this field for over 3 years. I'm here today to connect with professionals in the industry and learn about new opportunities. This kind of introduction shows confidence, gives clear information, and works well in business settings. Now, let's explore a more casual setting, like meeting new people at a social event or a party. In this situation, your introduction can be light and relaxed. You can say, Hey, I'm Jake. I'm from California. I'm into photography, and I love hiking. How about you? This tone is friendly and easygoing. You don't need to go into too much detail. Keep it short and open. The main goal is to start the conversation and show interest in the other person. Here's a simple example. Hi, I'm Elif. I'm from Turkey. I work as a nurse. In my free time, I enjoy watching movies and spending time with my family. The other person might respond, Hi, Elif. I'm Alex. I'm a student, and I also love movies. What kind of movies do you like? This turns your short introduction into a nice conversation. Sometimes you may want to introduce yourself in a group setting, like in a class, a workshop, or a group discussion. When you're speaking to more than one person, it's good to speak clearly. Keep eye contact and project your voice. You might say, Hi everyone, I'm Hana. I'm from Japan. I'm currently studying economics at university. I enjoy painting and learning about other cultures. I'm excited to be part of this group and meet all of you. This type of group introduction is friendly, respectful, and helps others remember you. Let's imagine another scenario. You're in a community event, and it's your turn to speak. You say, "Hello everyone, my name is Ibrahim. I'm from Egypt. I'm a graphic designer. I recently moved to this city, and I'm looking forward to making new friends and practicing my English." This kind of introduction is simple, but it helps you connect with others easily. It's also helpful to know how to introduce yourself when writing, especially in emails or online platforms. When writing an introduction email or message, you might say, "Dear Mr. Lee, my name is Natasha. I'm a marketing student at XYZ University. I'm writing to ask about your research program." Or if you're joining an online forum, you might post a short message like, "Hi everyone, I'm Ahmed from Morocco. I'm new here and I'm excited to improve my English and meet other learners." These types of introductions are useful in many online situations, especially today when much communication happens virtually. Another important part of self-introductions is body language. Even though your words are important, the way you say them also matters. Smile when you speak, make eye contact if you're face-to-face, and use a friendly tone. Try not to speak too fast. Take your time and speak clearly. Your body language helps you seem more confident and approachable, even if your English isn't perfect. Let's talk about confidence. Many learners feel nervous when introducing themselves in English, but it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes, and the important thing is to keep trying. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become. Don't worry too much about grammar or accent. Focus on being clear, friendly, and open. People will appreciate your effort, and with time, you'll improve. Now, let's do another practice exercise. I'll say an introduction, and you can try repeating it with your own information. Listen to the sentence, and then say it out loud, replacing the details with your own. Ready? Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm from South Africa. I work as an engineer. I enjoy playing basketball and reading. Now your turn. Use your own name, country, job, and hobbies. Try it again. Speak slowly and clearly. Good job. Let's try another one. Hello, my name is Julia. I'm a university student from France. I'm studying biology, and I love animals. I'm learning English because I want to work in international research. Now your turn. Replace the name, country, and interests with your own details. Practicing like this will help you build your confidence and get more comfortable with everyday introductions. If you're not sure what to say during an introduction, you can prepare a short version in advance and practice it. Write down a few sentences about your name, where you're from, what you do, and what you like. Memorize them and practice saying them out loud. Then try changing the words or adding new details as you get more confident. This way, your introduction will grow naturally over time. Now let's look at how to introduce yourself in different real-life places. Imagine you are at an airport, and you're sitting next to someone who seems friendly. You can start a simple conversation by introducing yourself. For example, "Hi, I'm Sam. I'm flying to New York. How about you?" In this situation, the introduction is short and friendly. You're not having a long conversation. You can add a little humor or share a fun fact. For example, "Hi, I'm Mia. I'm from Florida, and I make the best pancakes in my neighborhood." That's light, friendly, and memorable. Sometimes you may have to introduce yourself more than once, especially in large groups or classes. It's okay to repeat yourself or to make your introduction shorter the second time. For example, "Hi again, I'm Jason from Canada. Just happy to be here and looking forward to today's session." That's enough to remind people who you are without repeating everything. You don't need to worry about being perfect. People will appreciate your effort to communicate and be friendly. Let's go through a complete example that includes several pieces together. You say, "Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm from Brazil. I'm studying medicine, and I've been learning English for about a year. I love dancing and meeting new people. I'm really excited to join this class and improve my speaking." This introduction includes your name, country, occupation, English level, hobbies, and your reason for being there. It's full, natural, and very useful in most situations. Now, it's time for a longer practice. I'll say a full introduction and leave space for you to repeat it with your own details. Ready? Hi, I'm your name. I'm from your country. I work as your job, and I enjoy your hobbies. I'm learning English because your reason. I'm excited to meet new people and practice speaking. Now try it again, this time without reading. Imagine you are in front of someone, and say it out loud. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. Don't worry about mistakes, just focus on speaking clearly and confidently. You can also try recording yourself saying your introduction and listening to it. This helps you notice your pronunciation, your speed, and your tone. If you feel unsure, write your introduction down and practice it every day until you feel comfortable. Once you're confident, try changing parts of it and adapting it to different situations. This helps you become flexible with your language and sound more natural. Another useful practice is introducing yourself based on the environment or situation. Every place has its own kind of energy and purpose, so adjusting your introduction slightly to match the setting helps you sound more natural. For example, if you were at a school event for your children, you might say, "Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm Emma's mom. We just moved to this area, and I'm happy to meet other parents." This is a very common and polite way to introduce yourself in family-related situations. People often mention their relationship to a child, spouse, or the reason why they're at the event. You might hear someone reply, "Nice to meet you, Rachel. I'm Linda. My son is in Emma's class." This helps people connect as parents, not just as individuals. In contrast, if you are at a professional conference, your introduction might sound a little different. You could say, "Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Brown. I'm a project manager at Global Tech, and I specialize in team leadership and product development." Here, the purpose of the introduction is to show your expertise and create professional connections. You're using your name, title, company, and your focus area. Ask ChatGPT. It's clear, direct, and suitable for the event. Practicing how to introduce yourself in these formal environments can help you feel more confident and make the right impression. Let's now think about what you can include in a brief, medium, and long introduction. A brief introduction is just 1 or 2 lines. For example, "Hi, I'm Priya from India. I'm a writer." That's it, very short and simple. It's enough in situations where you just want to say hello, or where the conversation will continue with questions and answers. A medium-length introduction gives a bit more information. For example, "Hi, I'm Louise. I'm from Colombia. I work as a chef, and I've been living in Canada for 2 years. I enjoy hiking and exploring new places." That's just long enough to give someone a good idea about who you are. A longer introduction might be used in a speech, a group meeting, or a class where everyone is expected to speak. It could sound like, "Hello, my name is Ako. I'm from Japan. I've been living in Australia for 3 years. I work as a graphic designer and also study part-time. I enjoy photography, reading, and learning new languages. I'm excited to join this course because I want to improve my speaking skills and meet new people from around the world." This gives a full picture of who you are, your background, and your goals. Let's try an exercise. Think about where you are right now. Are you at home, at school, at work, or in a coffee shop? Now imagine someone walks up to you and says, "Hello." What would you say? You can start with, "Hi, I'm your name." Then add one detail about yourself. Try it now. Say it out loud. For example, "Hi, I'm Daniel. I work nearby and come here during my lunch break." That's a great start. Now try saying the same introduction in a longer form. For example, "Hi, I'm Daniel. I work as an accountant at a company down the street. I usually come here during lunch to relax and have a coffee." Practicing like this helps you think naturally and respond comfortably in different situations. Let's now look at introductions. In an academic environment, like a classroom or university setting, you might be meeting new classmates or professors. A good introduction would be something like, "Hello, I'm Laura. I'm from Argentina. I'm studying international relations, and I'm in my 2nd year. I'm looking forward to learning more about global issues and connecting with classmates from different backgrounds." This shows your academic focus, your stage in school, and your interests. You can also include your goals if they are relevant. For instance, "Hi, I'm Ahmed from Egypt. I'm doing my master's in computer science. I'm very interested in artificial intelligence and plan to work in tech development after graduation." These kinds of introductions help create connections in the academic world and let others know about your future plans. Now, let's think about how to improve fluency and reduce nervousness when introducing yourself. One of the best ways is through repetition. Repeat your introduction to yourself in the mirror every day. Start with the simple version. "Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Poland. I'm an architect." Then try adding more. "Hi, I'm Anna. I'm originally from Warsaw, Poland. I've been working as an architect for 6 years. I love art, traveling, and meeting people from different cultures." Each time you practice, your confidence grows. You learn which words feel comfortable, and you start speaking more smoothly. Another great tip is to record your voice and listen back. This helps you hear your pronunciation and rhythm. If something sounds too fast or unclear, you can fix it. You might realize that you say too much, or that your voice gets too quiet when you're unsure. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Every time you practice, you improve. Listening to native speakers or fluent learners can also help. You can find examples of introductions on YouTube or language apps and mimic the way they speak. Pay attention to tone, pauses, and how they organize their ideas. Now, let's do a creative practice. Imagine you are applying for a volunteer position at a community center. The coordinator says, "Tell me a little bit about yourself." You can say, "Hi, I'm Nico. I'm originally from Greece, but I've been living here for 5 years. I work in customer service and I'm interested in giving back to the community. I enjoy organizing events and working with people. I believe volunteering is a great way to learn and connect with others." This introduction shows your background, your interest in the position, and your attitude. It sounds genuine and well prepared. Let's try another scenario. You are on a video call with international students for a language exchange. The host says, "Please introduce yourself." You say, "Hello everyone, I'm Sarah. I'm from Jordan. I work as an English teacher, and I love meeting learners from different cultures. I joined this exchange to improve my pronunciation and learn more about how people use English around the world." This is a very good introduction. It shows your profession, passion, and learning goals. When others hear you speak like this, they feel encouraged to share more too. Sometimes people ask follow-up questions after your introduction. It's good to be ready for them. Common questions include, where exactly are you from? What do you do? Why are you learning English? How long have you lived here? What do you like to do in your free time? These questions are natural and help continue the conversation. If you hear one, don't worry. Just answer calmly and politely. For example, "I'm from a small town near Rome. It's very quiet and beautiful." Or, "I've been learning English for about 2 years. I started during the pandemic." These are simple and honest replies that keep the conversation going. Let's finish this section with a practice activity. I'll guide you step by step to build a complete introduction. First, say your name. "Hi, I'm your name." Now say where you're from. "I'm from your city or country." Next, say what you do. "I work as your job," or "I study your subject." Now mention something you enjoy. "In my free time, I like your hobby or interest." Finally, say something about your goals or why you're learning English. "I'm learning English to your goal." Put it all together. Say it out loud. Listen to your voice. Try it again with different hobbies or different reasons. Practicing in this way will make you confident in any situation where you need to introduce yourself. Let's now explore how to make your self-introduction sound more natural and conversational. One way to do this is by using contractions. Instead of saying, "I am a student," you can say, "I'm a student." This makes your speech sound more fluent and less robotic. Similarly, instead of saying, "I have been learning English," you can say, "I've been learning English." These small changes make a big difference in how natural your English sounds. When you use contractions, your sentences flow more smoothly, and you sound more like a native speaker. Practice using them in your daily self-introductions. For example, instead of saying, "I am from Canada," try saying, "I'm from Canada." Keep repeating this until it feels easy and automatic. Another technique to improve your introductions is to use intonation and emphasis. When you say, "Hi, I'm Lisa," try saying it with a smile and a rising tone. It shows friendliness and energy. When you say your hobby, you can emphasize it to show passion. "I really enjoy painting and drawing in my free time." By changing the tone of your voice slightly, you can sound more engaged and interested in the conversation. This helps people feel more comfortable and makes your introduction more memorable. Let's think about cultural differences in introductions. In some cultures, it's common to shake hands, make eye contact, and smile when introducing yourself. In others, people may bow, avoid too much eye contact, or use formal titles. When you're introducing yourself in English, especially in Western countries, it's usually okay to say your first name and smile politely. You can say, "Hi, I'm Mia. Nice to meet you." That simple greeting is often enough. If you are unsure about what to do, you can watch how other people around you are introducing themselves and follow their lead. Now let's do a practice exercise, focused on fluency and confidence. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat it out loud, filling in your own details. Ready? "Hi, I'm your name and I'm from your country." Now try, "I work as your job and I've been doing this for number years." Now say, "In my free time I enjoy your hobby and I'm also learning English to improve my communication skills." Try to say these sentences aloud without reading. If it's difficult, don't worry. Repeat them every day and you'll feel more confident with time. Let's imagine a situation where you are meeting your partner's friends for the first time. You might say, "Hi, I'm Diego. I've heard a lot about you. It's great to finally meet everyone. I work as a software engineer, and I love playing music in my free time." This introduction is friendly, warm, and respectful. You're not giving too much information, but just enough to make people feel comfortable. You're also showing interest in connecting with them. They might respond by asking you about your job or your music. When that happens, you can continue the conversation by giving more details. Now let's imagine you're on your first day at a new job. You meet your new team, and they ask you to introduce yourself. You could say, "Hi, I'm Emily. I just joined the marketing team as a content writer. I've worked in digital media for the last 3 years, and I'm really excited to be here and contribute to the team." This kind of introduction is clear and professional. It gives your name, position, work experience, and shows enthusiasm. People will see you as confident and ready to collaborate. Sometimes people feel shy or nervous when introducing themselves. That's completely normal. Even native English speakers can feel nervous in social situations. The key is to breathe deeply, smile, and keep your sentences short and simple. If you forget something or make a mistake, just pause and continue. You can even say, "Sorry, I'm a little nervous," and people will usually understand and appreciate your honesty. Remember, the purpose of an introduction is to make a connection, not to give a perfect speech. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Let's do another creative practice. Imagine you're at a cooking class in another country. The instructor says, "Let's go around and introduce ourselves." You stand up and say, "Hi, I'm Alex. I'm from Canada. I've always loved cooking, especially Italian food. I came to this class to learn more about traditional recipes and meet other food lovers." That's a very friendly and genuine introduction. You've shared your name, where you're from, your interest in cooking, and your reason for being there. This kind of introduction helps others remember you and opens the door for conversation. Now let's practice introducing yourself in a more formal or scripted environment, like an interview. You might say, "Good morning, my name is Hina, and I'm very happy to be here today. I have over 5 years of experience in project coordination, and I'm passionate about helping teams work together efficiently. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to bring my skills to your company." This is a polished and professional way to introduce yourself during a job interview. You're showing your experience, your value, and your attitude, all important elements in that setting. Let's imagine you're joining an English conversation group for the first time. The group leader says, "Please tell us a little about yourself." You say, "Hi everyone, I'm Tomas. I'm from Chile. I've been studying English for about a year. I work as a nurse, and I'm hoping to improve my speaking so I can communicate better with my international patients. I'm really excited to practice with all of you." This is a perfect introduction for a conversation group. You're sharing your name, background, goal, and motivation. Everyone in the group will feel encouraged and more willing to talk to you. Here's another speaking practice. I'll say a full example and then you can try repeating it using your own details. "Hi, I'm your name. I'm originally from your country, but I've been living in your current city for years. I work as your profession, and I enjoy your hobby. I started learning English because your reason. I'm really looking forward to practicing with new people and improving my fluency." Try saying this out loud now. Don't worry if it's not perfect. You can even record yourself and listen back later. The more you practice, the more natural it will sound. It's also useful to prepare different versions of your self-introduction: a short version for quick conversations, a medium version for group introductions, and a long version for formal or professional settings. This way, you can switch between them easily depending on the situation. You don't need to memorize everything. Just remember the key points: your name, where you're from, what you do, what you enjoy, and why you're learning English. That simple structure can be adapted for almost any introduction. Let's now reflect on the importance of body language during an introduction. When you introduce yourself in person, your facial expression, posture, and hand gestures all matter. Stand up straight, make eye contact if it's appropriate, and smile if you're shaking hands. Keep it firm but friendly. Your body language can show confidence, even if your words are simple. If you're sitting, try not to cross your arms or look down too much. Instead, keep your body open and relaxed. These small changes make a big difference in how people receive your introduction. Now, as we come to the end of this segment, I want you to write down your own self-introduction. Start with your name, then where you're from, your job or field of study, your hobbies, and your reason for learning English. Keep it around 5 to 6 sentences. After writing it, practice saying it out loud 3 times. Each time, try to sound more relaxed and confident. Imagine you're speaking to someone friendly. Smile as you speak. This kind of daily practice builds fluency, memory, and confidence. Remember, introducing yourself is one of the most powerful ways to build new relationships. Whether it's in your neighborhood, online, at work, or while traveling the world, let's now consider how to introduce yourself when you are meeting someone online for the first time, such as in a Zoom meeting, a language exchange platform, or a virtual classroom. In online settings, first impressions still matter. When your turn comes to speak, you can say, "Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm from Brazil, and I work as a data analyst. I recently started learning English to communicate better with my international clients. I'm really happy to join this group and meet new people. This is polite, complete, and suitable for an online environment. Make sure to speak clearly. Look at the camera and smile if you are using video. If the meeting is audio only, focus on your tone and pacing. Speak slowly and clearly enough for everyone to understand you, especially since many others might also be non-native speakers. Introducing yourself online can feel easier in some ways, but it's still important to be confident and prepared. You may also want to include something fun or interesting about yourself to make your introduction more engaging. For example, "Hello, my name is Wei. I'm from Taiwan. I teach high school math and love traveling and photography. I'm learning English to improve my communication skills and make new international friends." Sharing a hobby or interest is always a great way to help others remember you and spark conversation. It gives people a reason to ask questions or connect with you. In casual social situations such as meeting someone at a party or a community event, introductions are usually very relaxed. You don't need to say a lot. A simple introduction might sound like, "Hi, I'm Kevin. I live in this neighborhood. I love hiking and I'm always looking for new trails to explore." That's enough to start a friendly conversation. If someone asks you more, you can add details. For instance, "I'm originally from Chicago, but I moved here 2 years ago. I work as a teacher and really enjoy being part of this community." Again, the key is to keep it natural and let the conversation grow from there. Let's do a small speaking practice. Now imagine you're meeting someone at a weekend community market. You could say, "Hey, I'm Sarah. I just moved to this area and I'm enjoying the local events. I love fresh produce and homemade food." Say this out loud. You're using a warm tone, introducing yourself casually, and making a small personal connection. Try saying the same idea in different words. For example, "Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm new here and just exploring the market. Everything looks so fresh and amazing." With every repetition, you'll feel more fluent and confident. You can also adjust your introduction depending on your audience. If you're talking to someone younger, older, or from a different background, small changes in your language can make a difference. For example, if you're introducing yourself to a group of children as a volunteer, you might say, "Hi, I'm Mark. I help out at the library and I love reading books about animals. I'm happy to be here today." That's friendly and simple. If you were introducing yourself to a group of teachers, you might say, "Good afternoon. I'm Mark, a community volunteer. I assist with children's reading programs and love sharing stories about animals. It's a pleasure to be here." Both introductions are similar, but one is more formal, while the other is simpler for kids. Now let's imagine a scenario where you are traveling and meet someone new at a hostel or tourist location. Introductions in this context are usually fun and spontaneous. You could say, "Hi, I'm Elena from Italy. I'm traveling through Asia for a few weeks and just arrived here yesterday. This place is beautiful, isn't it?" This introduction includes your name and where you're from, your travel situation, and a shared comment about the place you're in. That last part makes it easier for the other person to respond and continue the conversation. Try creating a few of your own travel-style introductions. Think about places you've been or want to visit, and practice sharing those experiences in a natural way. Let's continue with another practice. You're at an international event like a conference or festival, and someone walks up to introduce themselves. You reply with, "Hi, I'm Omar. I'm from Egypt. I work as a civil engineer and came here to learn about new developments in sustainable design. It's my first time attending this event, and I'm really enjoying it so far." This gives a professional context, a reason for being there, and a touch of personal reflection. Try practicing that with your own details. Change the job, the location, or the reason for being there, and say it out loud. Repeating these kinds of examples helps build your fluency and comfort level in real-life settings. One thing that many learners wonder is, what if I make a mistake during my introduction? The truth is, it's completely okay. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. If you forget a word, just pause and try again. If you say something wrong, you can correct yourself. For example, "I am sorry. I've been working as a designer for 5 years." People will appreciate your effort and your honesty. It's better to keep going than to stop and feel embarrassed. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make, and your confidence will grow. Let's do another creative speaking task now. Pretend you're applying to join a local club or organization. They ask, "Can you tell us a little about yourself?" You respond with, "Hello, I'm Grace. I'm from South Korea. I recently moved here, and I'm looking for ways to be more active in the community. I love arts and crafts, and I'm excited to meet people with similar interests." This is a warm and inviting introduction. It shares your background, motivation, and a little bit of your personality. Now create your own version. Think of a real club or group you'd like to join, and write your introduction for that. Then speak it out loud. Let's also consider group introductions, where you go around a circle, and each person shares a little. Often people say something like, "Hi, I'm James. I'm from Manchester. I'm studying business, and I enjoy playing football. That's simple and common. You can add one more sentence to make your introduction stand out. I'm also learning English to prepare for my internship in New York next year. That additional sentence makes your introduction more meaningful and gives people a reason to remember you. Finally, let's wrap up this section with a powerful tip. Always be ready with a few different versions of your self-introduction: a one-sentence version for quick chats, a three-sentence version for casual meetups, and a 5 or 6-sentence version for formal or professional settings. The one-sentence version might be, "Hi, I'm Raj from India and I work in finance." The three-sentence version, "Hi, I'm Raj from Mumbai. I work as a financial analyst and love learning about different cultures. I've been learning English for over a year now." The longer version, "Hi, I'm Raj, originally from Mumbai, India. I've been working in finance for 6 years and recently moved to Singapore. I enjoy traveling, cooking, and learning languages. I'm studying English to connect with more people and grow my international career. I'm excited to be part of this event and meet you all." Practice each of these versions often. Over time, you'll be able to switch smoothly between them depending on the moment. When it comes to self-introductions, one of the most overlooked yet powerful elements is your mindset. Many learners worry too much about grammar and vocabulary and forget that confidence plays a major role in how effective their introduction is. If you walk into a room or join a conversation and believe in yourself, your words will carry more impact even if they are simple. Confidence doesn't mean speaking loudly or perfectly. It means being comfortable with who you are and what you want to share. One way to build this confidence is to remind yourself that every person you meet has also been in your position at some point. Everyone has had to introduce themselves before, and most people will appreciate your effort and honesty, especially if you're still learning English. Another way to feel more at ease is to memorize a few useful phrases that you can always use when introducing yourself. Phrases like, "I'm currently working on," "I've been learning English for," "one thing I enjoy is," are very flexible and can fit into almost any conversation. For example, you might say, "I'm currently working on improving my public speaking skills, which is why I joined this class." Or you could say, "I've been learning English for about 2 years, and I try to practice every day." These types of sentences allow you to personalize your introduction without needing to come up with something completely new every time. They also help you transition into other topics naturally. Let's do another speaking practice. Now imagine you've joined a new volunteer organization and it's your first meeting. You could say, "Hello everyone, I'm Priya. I'm originally from India, but I've been living in Australia for the past 3 years. I work in customer service, and I joined this group to give back to the community and meet new people. I'm really excited to be here." That's a well-rounded introduction with your name, background, profession, reason for joining, and a positive closing. Try saying that out loud, replacing the details with your own information. Practicing full introductions like this helps you get comfortable with speaking in complete thoughts and makes your delivery sound natural. Some learners also ask how to introduce themselves when they are still students or not currently working. That's totally okay. If you are a student, you can say, "Hi, I'm David. I'm a university student studying computer science. I'm in my second year and really interested in artificial intelligence. I'm also learning English because I hope to study abroad one day." If you are not currently working, you can focus on your interests or future goals. For example, "Hi, I'm Maria. I'm not working at the moment, but I've been spending time studying English and taking care of my family. I'm hoping to return to work soon and would love to work in the healthcare field." The key is to be honest and positive about your current situation. Let's now think about self-introductions for messaging and written communication. Sometimes you may need to introduce yourself in an email, a forum, or a social media group. In writing, clarity and politeness are especially important. A simple written introduction might be, "Hello, my name is Javier. I'm from Spain and currently learning English. I joined this group to practice speaking and connect with other learners. Looking forward to learning with all of you." This is short, polite, and sets the tone for a friendly exchange. If you're writing an email introduction, you might start with, "Dear Mr. Johnson, my name is Iyako and I'm a graduate student in international relations. I'm reaching out to ask about internship opportunities at your organization. Thank you for your time and consideration." Even though it's written, the structure is similar to spoken introductions. Start with your name, share your background, and state your purpose. Let's try another spoken scenario. You are attending your first English class, and the teacher asks everyone to introduce themselves. You stand up and say, "Hi, my name is Jorge. I'm from Mexico City. I work in logistics and transportation. I've always wanted to improve my English so I can communicate better when I travel. I'm happy to be part of this class, and I'm looking forward to practicing with you all. This kind of introduction is warm, respectful, and gives your classmates something to connect with. Practice that kind of introduction now with your own details. Stand up if possible and say it with energy and a smile. Sometimes you may be in situations where the introduction needs to be very short. Maybe you are part of a networking event where everyone only has 10 seconds. In that case, focus on just the essentials. Hi, I'm Lena from Germany. I work in education and love languages. That's enough to make a quick impression. If the conversation continues, you can add more. Short introductions are great for casual chats, meet and greet events, and quick exchanges in busy settings. Practice making your own 10-second introduction. Keep it short, clear, and interesting. Now let's imagine a more high-pressure situation. A scholarship interview. You walk in and the interviewer says, "Tell me about yourself." This is your moment to make a strong first impression. You might say, "Good morning. My name is Noura. I'm originally from Malaysia, and I'm currently studying environmental science. I've always been passionate about sustainability and climate change, which is why I'm applying for this scholarship. I believe it will help me continue my research and contribute to global solutions. I'm honored to be here today." That introduction is formal, confident, and purposeful. Practice saying that style of introduction using your real background and goals. It's okay to write it down and rehearse it many times until it sounds natural. Let's do a practice task now. Take 5 minutes and write down 3 versions of your self-introduction. One for a casual setting, one for a professional environment, and one for an online message. For the casual one, you might include your hobbies or something fun. For the professional one, focus on your skills or career goals. For the online message, keep it short and polite. After writing them, say them out loud one by one. You can even record yourself and listen back to notice your tone and pacing. This type of repetition and feedback is very helpful for improving your fluency and confidence. To finish this part, let's reflect on how small improvements make a big difference. At first, introducing yourself in English might feel difficult. You might forget words, feel nervous, or speak too slowly. But over time, with regular practice, it becomes easier and more natural. You begin to develop your own personal style of speaking. You start to sound more like yourself, even in another language. And that's a beautiful thing. Being able to show your personality and connect with others, no matter where you are or who you are speaking to. That's the power of language and communication. Another helpful way to master self-introductions is by listening to how native English speakers introduce themselves in various situations. This can include podcasts, YouTube interviews, talk shows, and everyday conversations. When you listen to how others speak, you'll notice patterns, expressions, and tone that can help guide your own speaking. For example, in an interview, someone might say, "Hi, I'm Jen. I grew up in Los Angeles and studied marketing in college. I've worked for several tech companies, and I'm now focused on helping small businesses build their online presence." This is a great real-world example of a confident professional introduction. Try to imitate this style and rhythm. Say it out loud, replace the details with your own, and notice how it flows. This imitation technique is a powerful tool for improving fluency and building natural-sounding sentences. Now let's consider how you might introduce yourself when meeting someone for the first time at a friend's gathering. You don't need a long formal introduction in this case. Something like, "Hi, I'm Josh. I'm a friend of Alex's. I'm originally from Canada, but I live here now. I work in software development." That's casual, friendly, and appropriate for the setting. You've shared your name, your connection to the host, your background, and your profession. These simple pieces of information help people get to know you without overwhelming them. And if someone seems interested, they'll naturally ask you more questions. That's how conversations begin. Let's now imagine a different kind of situation, being at a job interview. The interviewer starts by saying, "Tell me a little about yourself." In this case, you want to share relevant information that highlights your experience and skills and interest in the position. For example, "My name is Chloe. I recently graduated with a degree in communications. During my studies, I completed an internship in public relations, where I managed social media accounts and wrote press releases. I'm passionate about storytelling and digital communication, and I'm excited to apply those skills in a professional setting." This kind of introduction is clear and focused on what matters to the interviewer. It doesn't just tell your story, it shows how you are a good fit for the opportunity. Let's practice that now. Think of a job you'd like to apply for. Imagine you're in the interview room. How would you introduce yourself? Try writing it down first, then say it out loud. Use the structure, who you are, what you've done, and what you want to do. For example, "Hi, I'm Marcus. I've worked in customer service for over 5 years, and I specialize in handling customer feedback and improving user experience. I'm looking for a role where I can grow and take on more responsibility in a leadership position. Keep it simple and direct. Practicing in this way helps you get used to the rhythm and tone of professional speech. Some learners also wonder how to introduce themselves in more emotional or personal moments, such as a support group, counseling session, or when joining a new social group where people share their experiences. In these cases, it's important to be respectful and sincere. You might say, "Hi, my name is Leah. I'm here because I want to work on building more confidence in my daily life. I sometimes struggle with speaking up in group settings, and I'm hoping to learn from others and grow together." That kind of introduction is honest and appropriate for the situation. It creates a space for connection and shows that you are open to learning. Let's now do a short guided speaking exercise. Imagine you are meeting a group of people from different countries at a cultural exchange event. What would you say? You could try, "Hello, I'm Air. I'm from Jordan. I teach history at a local high school, and I'm passionate about learning from other cultures. I joined this exchange to meet new people and share my experiences." Repeat that with your own details. If you're not sure what to say, think about your background, your job or studies, and one interesting thing about yourself. Practice several versions until it feels natural. When introducing yourself, body language can also make a big difference. Even though your video will not include visuals, it's still worth thinking about your posture and facial expression when you practice. Standing or sitting upright, smiling, and using a relaxed tone of voice all contribute to a positive first impression. If you're nervous, take a deep breath before you start speaking. Try not to rush. Speaking slowly and clearly gives you more control and makes it easier for others to understand you, even if you forget a word. Just pause and try a different way to say it. Communication is not about being perfect. It's about being understood and making a connection. Let's now imagine a new setting. You are attending a short training workshop, and the instructor asks everyone to introduce themselves. You say, "Hi, I'm Hannah. I work in the tourism industry, and I'm here to improve my communication skills with international visitors. I love learning languages and helping people explore new places." That introduction gives a clear idea of your background, your goal, and your personality. Practicing this kind of setting-based introduction helps you prepare for many real-life events. You can try writing a list of different places where you might need to introduce yourself, like a class, a new job, a community center, or even a social app, and write a short introduction for each one. Let's do a bit of creative practice now. Imagine you are part of a short video project where people from around the world introduce themselves in English. You have just 20 seconds to say something interesting. You might say, "Hi, I'm Diego from Argentina. I'm a graphic designer who loves music and soccer. I've been learning English for a year to connect with people from all over the world and share my work globally." That short speech is full of information, but still easy to understand. Try writing your own 20-second script now and record yourself saying it. Time yourself and see how clearly you can express who you are within a short period. Practicing this often helps you become more efficient and fluent in speaking. Finally, always remember that self-introduction is not a one-time skill. It's something you will use over and over again in your life. Every time you move to a new place, join a new group, start a new job, or even meet someone while traveling, you will use this skill. The more you practice, the better you will become. And each time you introduce yourself, you'll discover something new about how you communicate and how you connect with others. So, take your time, be proud of your story, and share it confidently. Many English learners wonder what to say when they are asked unexpected questions during introductions. For example, someone might say, "Tell me something interesting about yourself," or "What do you like to do in your free time?" These are great opportunities to share more than just the basics. Instead of feeling nervous, you can prepare answers in advance. One way to respond is by talking about your hobbies or passions. For instance, you could say, "One interesting thing about me is that I've recently started learning how to play the guitar. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I practice a little every day." This kind of response not only answers the question, but also gives the listener something memorable to associate with you. If you love reading, cooking, traveling, or photography, you can easily mention those activities. The key is to express it naturally and with interest. Let's practice responding to an unexpected question. Imagine someone says, "What are you passionate about?" You can reply with something like, "I'm really passionate about helping others. I often volunteer at my local community center and support different charity events. I feel that giving back is important and brings me happiness." That answer gives insight into your personality and values. Think of something you truly care about, and try forming a sentence or two that you can say when this type of question comes up. It's always good to have a few answers ready, especially if you're attending events, interviews, or even casual gatherings where conversations go beyond name and job. Now, let's focus a bit on how to express your goals during an introduction. When you share your goals, you give people an idea of what motivates you and what you're working towards. For example, someone might say, "Hi, I'm Fatima. I'm currently studying computer science, and I hope to work as a software engineer for an international company. I'm also improving my English because I want to work in a global environment." This kind of introduction tells people what you do now and what you aim for in the future. It helps you sound driven and focused. Practice talking about your goals in 1 or 2 sentences. Maybe you want to open a business, become a teacher, or travel the world. Whatever your dreams are, including them in your introduction helps people understand you better. There are also situations where you may want to include personal values in your introduction. For example, when joining a club, community project, or team, you might say something like, "Hi, I'm Martin. I really believe in teamwork and cooperation, which is why I enjoy being part of community efforts like this. I'm looking forward to learning from others and contributing where I can." Sharing your values shows what kind of person you are and helps others feel connected to you. Think of what values matter most to you: honesty, creativity, kindness, responsibility, and consider how you can express them in a natural way when introducing yourself. Sometimes you will have to introduce yourself over the phone or in a voice message. This can feel more difficult because you can't see the other person and you don't have visual feedback. But the basic rules still apply. Speak clearly, smile while talking if possible. It actually helps your tone sound more friendly and keep your message focused. For example, in a voicemail, you might say, "Hi, this is Laya. I'm calling about the English conversation group. I'm interested in joining and would love to know more. You can reach me at this number. Thank you." This short and polite message shows who you are, why you're calling, and how to get back to you. Practicing phone introductions is a good way to build confidence and improve clarity. Let's now imagine a language exchange program. You meet a new partner online and need to introduce yourself briefly. You can say, "Hi, I'm Nico from Greece. I'm a university student studying economics and I've been learning English for about a year. I joined this program to improve my speaking and meet people from around the world." That short introduction includes your name, where you're from, what you study, your English level, and your reason for joining. All important points delivered naturally and smoothly. Think of your own version now and say it out loud. You can even send it as a voice message to a language partner and ask for feedback. There are also formal and informal ways to introduce yourself, depending on the context. In a job interview or business meeting, you'll want to be more formal. For example, "Good morning. My name is Dr. Ella Chen. I've worked in the healthcare industry for over 10 years, and I specialize in mental health counseling. I'm here today to learn about your organization and see how we might collaborate." That introduction is clear, professional, and respectful. In contrast, when meeting someone at a coffee shop or on a trip, you might be more casual. "Hi, I'm Sam. I'm just visiting the city for a few days. It's my first time here, and I'm loving it so far." The difference is in tone, vocabulary, and length. Practicing both formal and informal styles will help you adjust easily depending on the situation. Let's move to another practice activity. Think of 2 different settings, formal and one casual, and write an introduction for each. In the formal one, include your name, job or area of study, experience and goal. In the casual one, include your name, where you're from, and something fun or light. Then say both introductions out loud. Listen to your tone. Are you speaking clearly? Do you sound natural? The more you practice switching between styles, the more confident and flexible your speaking will become. One more important aspect of introducing yourself is asking questions back. After you introduce yourself, it's polite and helpful to ask the other person about themselves. This keeps the conversation going and shows that you're interested. For example, after saying, "Hi, I'm Yuki. I work in retail, and I'm learning English to travel more," you might add, "And what do you do?" Or, "How long have you been learning English?" This turns the introduction into a conversation instead of a one-way speech. You don't have to ask many questions. Just 1 or 2 thoughtful ones can make a big difference. Let's practice a full dialogue now. Imagine you're meeting someone for the first time. You say, "Hi, I'm Ahmed. I'm from Cairo. I work in finance and enjoy playing chess in my free time." The other person replies, "Nice to meet you, Ahmed. I'm Laura. I'm from Italy, and I work as a graphic designer." You then ask, "How long have you been in this city?" That's how an introduction turns into a natural conversation. Practicing both sides of the dialogue helps you get used to speaking and listening. Try doing this with a friend, or record both parts yourself. Remember that self-introduction is not just about providing information. It's about expressing who you are, showing confidence, and creating opportunities for connection. The more you practice, the better you become. With time, you will no longer need to memorize scripts. You will be able to speak freely, adapting your words to any situation. Whether you're introducing yourself to a teacher, a new friend, a coworker, or a stranger, your voice matters. Your story matters. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep introducing yourself with pride. Now let's explore how culture can influence the way we introduce ourselves. In some countries, introductions are brief and to the point. In others, people might share more personal information right away. For example, in many Western cultures, it's normal to say your name, job, and perhaps a hobby when you first meet someone. But in some Asian cultures, introductions might be more formal, involving titles, family background, or expressions of respect. It's helpful to understand the cultural expectations of the place you are in. When speaking English, especially in international settings, a simple and polite introduction is always a good start. You don't need to share too much, but showing interest in the person you're speaking to can help create a friendly connection. So, always be open, respectful, and ready to listen as well as speak. Let's consider another example. Imagine you are attending an English language class for the first time. The teacher asks everyone to introduce themselves. You might say, "Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm from Mexico. I've been studying English for 6 months because I want to move abroad for work. I'm very excited to be part of this class and to improve my speaking skills." This is a great classroom introduction. It includes your name, origin, purpose for learning, and a positive attitude. Other students in the class will hear your introduction and feel encouraged to share their own. You don't need to speak perfectly, just speak clearly and try your best. Your goal is to connect, not to impress. Let's practice a similar situation. Now, imagine you are taking an online English course. The teacher wants everyone to record a short self-introduction and send it to the group. What would you say? You could try something like, "Hi everyone, I'm Priya from India. I work as a nurse and I love learning new languages. I'm learning English to communicate better with patients and to travel more in the future. I look forward to learning with all of you." Try saying that aloud and replacing the details with your own. Think about your job, where you're from, your reasons for learning English, and something you enjoy. Practice until you feel confident. There are also times when you may need to introduce yourself in writing. For example, when you join a new online forum, a group chat, or even a social media platform where people ask for a short bio. Written introductions are a great way to practice your grammar and sentence structure. For instance, you might write, "Hello, I'm Rina. I live in Tokyo, and I'm studying business management. I enjoy reading books and watching international films. I'm here to make new friends and improve my English." This is friendly, clear, and informative. You don't need to write a long paragraph, just a few sentences to give people an idea of who you are. Practicing written introductions can also improve your confidence for speaking. Now imagine a scenario where you are attending a conference or seminar. You might be asked to introduce yourself to the group during a networking session. You could say, "Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hassan. I'm a mechanical engineer based in Dubai. I specialize in renewable energy projects, and I'm currently working on a solar panel design for residential areas. I'm attending this conference to learn more about sustainable solutions and to connect with other professionals in the field." This type of professional introduction is informative and purposeful. It shows who you are, what you do, and why you are there, all important in professional settings. Another helpful exercise is practicing introductions based on time. For example, try to introduce yourself in 30 seconds. What would you include? Perhaps your name, where you're from, and your profession. Now try doing it in 1 minute. You could add your hobbies and goals, then try doing it in 2 minutes. Now you can include more personal background, values, and stories. This time-based exercise teaches you how to expand or shorten your introduction, depending on the situation. If you only have a few seconds, you'll need to be quick and clear. If you have more time, you can share more details and express more personality. Practice these variations to be ready for anything. Here's another practice example. Imagine you are meeting your new neighbors for the first time. You might say, "Hi, I'm Elena. I just moved into the apartment next door. I'm a graphic designer, and I work from home most days. I love baking and spending time with my dog. It's great to meet you." This is a friendly and casual way to introduce yourself in a neighborly context. It shows who you are, what you do, and a bit of your personality. These small introductions build good relationships and help you feel part of a community. Sometimes you might need to introduce yourself in a stressful situation, like at a hospital, during an emergency, or when asking for help. In these moments, stay calm and give the most important information first. You can say, "My name is Marco. I need help. I think I injured my leg. I was walking and I slipped." This is short and clear. You are identifying yourself and explaining the situation. Practicing short, clear sentences like these can help you feel more prepared and stay calm during emergencies. Let's try a quick self-introduction challenge. Imagine you're applying to volunteer at an animal shelter. You can say, "Hi, I'm Jasmine. I've always loved animals and I recently adopted a rescue dog. I have some free time on weekends and I'd like to help at the shelter in any way I can. I'm responsible, friendly, and ready to learn." This kind of introduction is enthusiastic and shows your interest in the role. Try creating your own version of this and saying it out loud. It's good practice for volunteer or community service roles. Another great tip is to use storytelling in your introductions when appropriate. Sharing a small story or experience makes you more memorable. For example, "Hi, I'm Leo. I became interested in languages when I traveled to Italy last year and couldn't order coffee without using hand gestures. That experience motivated me to start learning English seriously, and now I study every day." This short story makes your introduction unique and interesting. It gives people something to remember, and maybe even relate to. Think of a small, funny, or meaningful story you could share, and practice telling it in 2 or 3 sentences. As you become more confident, you can also experiment with different tones. Sometimes you want to be formal and polite, other times relaxed and cheerful. If you're introducing yourself to children, you might say, "Hi kids, I'm Mr. Ben. I'm your new English teacher, and I love playing games and singing songs. I can't wait to have fun with you all." This is light, fun, and energetic. Try adapting your introduction based on your audience. It helps create the right atmosphere and shows that you are thoughtful and aware of who you are speaking to. Always remember that your self-introduction is like your personal brand. It's your chance to tell people who you are and what you care about. Practicing regularly in different styles and settings helps you stay confident and flexible. You don't have to be perfect. What matters is your effort, your clarity, and your willingness to connect with others. Keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep introducing yourself proudly in English. As we come to the final part of our discussion on how to introduce yourself in English, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered so far. We've explored how to start a basic introduction using your name, where you're from, your profession, and your interests. We've learned how to adapt our introductions based on the situation, whether it's a formal setting like a job interview or an informal one like meeting someone at a party. We've also looked at how to share goals, values, and stories that make introductions more personal and memorable. By practicing consistently, you can become more confident and natural when speaking English, no matter who you are talking to. To bring it all together, think about creating a few versions of your self-introduction that you can use whenever needed. For example, one short version of about 20 seconds for quick introductions, one longer version of about 1 minute for classroom or networking settings, and another detailed version that includes your goals, hobbies, and a personal story. Having these versions ready means you won't feel nervous when someone asks, "Can you tell me a little about yourself?" You'll know exactly what to say, how to say it, and how to keep the conversation going naturally. Let's try one final full example. Imagine you're attending your first day at a new job. During the team meeting, everyone is asked to introduce themselves. You might say, "Hello everyone, I'm Sophia. I recently moved here from Brazil, and I'll be joining the marketing team as a content writer. I have a background in journalism and a passion for storytelling, and I'm really excited to work with such a creative group of people. In my free time, I enjoy hiking and cooking new recipes. I'm looking forward to learning and contributing to the team." This type of introduction works because it's clear, friendly, and professional. It shows your background, interests, and enthusiasm. Now imagine you're at a community event, and someone walks up to you and says, "Hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Karen." You could reply, "Hi Karen, I'm Elias. I just moved into the neighborhood last week. I'm a teacher and I love reading, gardening, and biking. It's great to meet someone from the community." This friendly tone opens the door to more conversation and helps build new connections. Practicing responses to these situations prepares you to speak confidently in daily life. As an additional practice, try writing down 5 different introductions. One for a job interview, one for a casual conversation, one for a social media bio, one for a classroom setting, and one for a voice message. Write them in paragraph form, then read them aloud. Record yourself and listen to the tone and clarity. Do you sound confident? Do you speak clearly? Are your sentences natural? You can also ask a friend or teacher to give you feedback. This process helps you improve, not just your words but your delivery too. Another great way to practice introductions is to simulate different scenarios. Pretend you are on a video call, introducing yourself to an international group. Try saying, "Hi everyone,
I'm Noah from Canada. I work as a project manager, and I enjoy learning about different cultures. I'm here to exchange ideas and improve my communication skills. It's great to meet you all. This kind of introduction is helpful in online communities, webinars, and global meetings. Practicing with video adds another layer of confidence because you get used to speaking clearly and looking relaxed even when you're on camera. Also, try introducing yourself as someone else as a fun practice. Pretend you're a famous chef, a traveler, or even a fictional character. For example, "Hi, I'm Chef Luca. I've been working in Italian cuisine for over 15 years, and I love experimenting with traditional and modern recipes. When I'm not in the kitchen, I enjoy visiting local markets and teaching cooking classes." This creative exercise helps you play with different vocabulary, tones, and sentence structures, making you more flexible with your English. It can also make practicing more fun and less stressful. Remember that body language plays a role too. Even if you are not showing visuals in your video, practicing with good posture, a smile, and a confident tone helps your voice sound stronger and more positive. Even though your viewers won't see you, they can still feel your energy through your voice. When you speak with interest and confidence, people want to listen. If you use an AI voice for your video, writing the script with natural rhythm and a friendly tone makes a big difference in how it sounds to your audience. One of the most helpful habits you can build is to introduce yourself every day, even when you are alone. For example, when you wake up in the morning, say your name, where you're from, and what your plan is for the day. You can say, "Good morning, I'm Nina, I'm from Kenya. Today I'll be working on my English practice and finishing my homework." This daily habit strengthens your fluency and helps you become more comfortable using English in real-life situations. Let's take a moment now to reflect on your progress. Think about how you introduced yourself before watching this video. Did you feel unsure about what to say? Were you worried about making mistakes? And now, after learning all these tips, examples, and practice techniques, do you feel more confident? Do you have a few different ways you can introduce yourself depending on the situation? If the answer is yes, that means you've already made great progress. Keep going, because learning a language is a journey, and every step you take brings you closer to fluency. To finish today's lesson, here's a little challenge for you. Choose one of the introduction examples from earlier and personalize it with your own details. Then record yourself saying it. Listen carefully, make changes if needed, and try again. Once you're happy with how it sounds, share it with someone, a friend, a teacher, or even a language partner. Ask them how it sounds and what you could improve. This final step, sharing your introduction, is a great way to build real communication skills and receive helpful feedback. Introducing yourself is one of the first and most important things you'll do when speaking English. It opens doors, starts friendships, builds professional relationships, and helps you become part of a global community. Whether you are at school, at work, traveling, online, or just chatting with someone new, being able to confidently say who you are makes a powerful impact. So don't wait, start practicing today and make it a regular part of your learning routine. Thank you for staying with me through this full session on how to introduce yourself in English. I hope this video has helped you feel more prepared and more confident in your English journey. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just need to be clear, kind, and willing to grow. I'm proud of the effort you've made today, and I know you'll keep getting better. Until next time, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep speaking English every day. This is Mia, signing off. See you again soon.